Hey everyone, I wanted to come share my opinion since everyone else is sharing theirs about the NCAA tournament. So we're going to look at the Midwest region and we'll do some predictions here and you can tell me how wrong I'll be. So the first thing is I got a printable bracket from NCAA.com. I did the TBS one. And the first game that we're looking at is Purdue and either Montana State or Grambling. And so we're going to go with, I'm going to go, since I'm not far from Grambling, I'm going to go with Grambling. And I'm going to say Grambling versus Purdue. I'll put Purdue on that line. Okay, so there's Purdue. I've got it. So we're going to go with Purdue. The next one is Utah State and TCU. Utah State is a very good basketball team. They shoot the ball well. TCU has been a decent basketball team. Jamie Dixon does a good job there. I'm going to go with TCU. All right, now here's where we're going to go with the upset. Gonzaga versus McNeese. I'm going to say McNeese State. Will Wade has done a good job there. And I'm going to go with Kansas over Samford. Kansas over Samford. South Carolina and Oregon. South Carolina played really well in the SEC this season. Had 13-5 record, the coach of the year. And so I'm going to go with SC. I'm going to go with South Carolina over Oregon, and then Creighton over Akron, and I'm going to go with Creighton. Creighton was one of the better teams in the Big East this season. Texas, and then we have Virginia and Colorado State. I don't think Texas is that great. Virginia and Colorado State. I think Colorado State is good enough to beat Virginia, and then I'll put them out over Texas. And then Tennessee and St. Peter's. My wife is a huge Tennessee fan. My in-laws are Tennessee fans, so I'm going to go with Tennessee, even though they dropped an egg in the SEC tournament. So this is what it looks like. Purdue, and they'll beat Grambling. I said TCU over Utah State, McNeese over Gonzaga, Kansas over Samford, South Carolina over Oregon, Creighton over Akron, and Texas loses to Colorado State as Colorado State beats UVA and they beat Texas, and then Tennessee beats St. Peter's. All right, so that's what we have so far. So let's take a look at the next round of bracket. So this would be the second round matchups that would go to the Elite Eight, and I will say Purdue over TCU. In years past, I wouldn't say that. I did not pick them to lose last year in the first game. I predicted them to lose in the second game, but they lost to a 16 seed. The second time a one has lost to a 16 seed in the last, I think, 5 years. So McNeese, I'm going to go with them over Kansas. I'm going to go with them over Kansas. That's probably a bad pick, but that's my wild card pick. South Carolina over Creighton. No, I'm going to go with Creighton over South Carolina, and then I'm going to go with Tennessee. Now, this is how that looks. You can see it there. So we're picking out, branching out here in the Midwest, and we're saying Purdue and McNeese, and we're saying Creighton and Tennessee. Now, do I think that McNeese will make it that far? They'll probably get beat by Kansas, but why not? Let's ride with it all the way to the end, and we're going to say McNeese makes it there, and then Creighton beats Tennessee. And so now you have McNeese and Creighton will make it to the Final Four. I believe last year they were in the Elite Eight. So here's what my Midwest region looks like. I've got Purdue over TCU. I've got, McNeese beating Purdue, and McNeese playing Creighton, Creighton beating Tennessee, and Creighton playing McNeese, and Creighton advancing to the Final Four in the Midwest region. So I've got Purdue winning and then playing TCU. TCU beating Utah State, Gonzaga over and McNeese over them. Kansas and Samford, Kansas winning. Then I've got South Carolina beating Oregon, Creighton beating Akron, Colorado State winning and heading out of the playing game and beating Texas, and then Tennessee winning against St. Peter's. Then Tennessee beating Colorado State, advancing to the 16. Creighton beating South Carolina. Kansas losing to McNeese, and TCU losing to Purdue. Then I have Purdue losing to McNeese, which is just crazy. Creighton beating Tennessee, and McNeese and Creighton playing in the Elite Eight, and Creighton going to the Final Four. That's my picks for the Midwest Regional, excuse me. If you got any comments, comment here. Hope to hear and look forward to seeing what you say. Thanks.